Do you have anything to add, Rob?
Actually, what happened up there, the property owner put it in their approach in the driveway. When he did that, he disturbed the bricks that were in the roadway and in the gutter. And supposedly, there was some recommendation to put asphalt back by previous, I guess, management. But the whole situation up there, I mean, this remediates half of Harris Avenue, I think, in the pavement management system. The Gateway did, the cost to rehab that was about $80,000, if I remember correctly. To get half of this done at this price, have it completed and done right. No curb work, like Rick said, the curb's in good condition. The section of the driveway where the private property owner put in the approach, there'll be an asphalt wedge curb, concrete work done, minimal cost. And this will make that road completely functional. And actually, I think the key component is to capture the mine water or water that constantly seeps off of that alleyway, capture that and take it out of the right of way and put it into the system. So that, at a price like we're getting for this, I think my recommendation, move forward with it and have that whole section of Harris completed.
But if that's your thinking, which is logical, then I would propose that we have those kinds of water issues and springs that happen all over the borough, and I would be concerned at what kind of perhaps message this would send to residents, that there's a possibility that the borough can foot the bill if you make changes that affect the road. I think larger picture, and so that just
Now,
kind of created a
water's
flag.
above the property. The driveway has nothing to do with the mine water coming through the alley. It's actually above the property, coming down on Harris. The impact of the approach and driveway has nothing to do with the water that's coming out from the alley above the property. This is an opportunity to actually have the borough, have a contractor capture the water, put it in the system, and remove it from Harris Street itself. I mean, he had nothing to...
I had the exact same concern you had, Ms. Post, is that working with engineering, with Rob to bring this to a conclusion to get in front of council for some sort of action. I asked the same question, and after talking with both of them at length, it's just a happenstance. It's a coincidence of multiple factors that have led us to this point, for better or for worse. It's a good place to be from the borough's perspective in terms of fixing that stormwater issue, not in its entirety, but it's spending 50 cents and getting 75 cents worth of work type of deal. To send the contractor out there to fix the mistake that he made, it gives the borough an opportunity to make a not so great situation a little bit better. It's not going to make Harris 100% better. This isn't driven by the property owner's issue. It's about an opportunity to fix that stormwater on Harris. I had the same question you had.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yes, I have a couple of questions. I have an easy question and a hard question and a stupid question. The easy question is, you're talking about the area, I mean, Clearview went, they went up about, I don't know, 5% of the way, and then you're talking about all the way up to Bar Avenue, right?
No, only to the alleys.
Only
So
to the
from
alleys.
Clearview up to the first two alleys on both the right and left-hand side.
Okay.
Essentially half of Harris.
So, okay, so half of Harris, and when they did Church Hill, when they did West Crafton Avenue, they put those big gouges in there so you don't slip in the ice and all that. So this is gonna eliminate that ice problem that we always
Yeah.
have up there. And we close the road every year because of the ice, because of that street, is that right?
Yes, that's the ice that's been reported to be a nuisance on
Yeah,
Harris.
we had to close that street every year. Really dangerous. So will eliminate that problem. Okay, second question, the hard question is, are you, the engineering company and the construction company, are everybody's calculations gonna be on one page so that we don't run into any more problems with this street for a while? I mean, is everybody gonna be in agreement on how it should be shaped and all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Do you think that'll happen?
Yeah, it will happen, and I don't think it was an issue in the first place, meaning the contractor just made a mistake, installed, he actually thought he was fixing another problem, but he created one by fixing one. So I call it his mistake in putting the curb too high. So in the specifications, we don't tell the contractor the elevation to put the curb and gutter back. We say in kind, which means he has to recreate the situation that was there before, leaving the same situation. So He didn't do that, but that's independent of what you're suggesting. This new proposal would be laid out and designed and installed so that the water would be diverted to the curb and gutter, and it would remove the icing problem and tie back into the tie-in point at Clearview Avenue. So yes, that is the point of doing it, to do it correctly.
Okay, then the stupid question, what happens to all the bricks? Where are all the bricks going? They go back to the contractor? Or?
No, we're going to have them delivered to the Public Works building, and your guys are going to sort through, take out the bricks that can be reused for future reconstruction
Okay,
work.
great, thank you.
Okay. All right, let's vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next motion. I'll entertain a motion to pay Shaycog the amount of $100,617.10 for payment number 2 for work performed by State Pipe Services Incorporated for the Shaycog Joint O&M Point Repair Year 3 contract as reviewed and certified by Gateway Engineers.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to public safety, one we talked about last week. I'll entertain a motion to advertise an ordinance amending the traffic and vehicle ordinance to prohibit parking on Steuben Street on the northerly and southerly side for its entire length from the eastern and western city of Pittsburgh boundary lines.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on this, this motion?
So there would be no circumstances which anybody could park.
Yeah, Mayor, you want to talk right now where we stand as far as what is illegal parking and what we're advertising to change for the council people that were here last week?
The issue came to the forefront with cars that were parking illegally on Steuben Street between McCormick and Duncan Avenue. And the reason they parked illegally was because they were afraid their cars were going to get hit if they parked on the street. Now, under the PennDOT codes, the borough has the right to limit parking where they feel the necessity. I looked this area over and with the chief, and once the cars were tagged, they all decided that they were going to park where there was available parking, which is behind the properties. There's off-street parking in all these residents on Steuben Street. So just to clean the whole problem up, I suggested and requested through the Secretary's office that the area between the Thornburg Bridge, let's just say, and Cumberland Avenue, which is up in the city where our line ends, it would be no parking area. That way, you know, the whole area from Union Avenue right down, all the way down Steuben Street on the north side, which let's say the Ingram side, is no parking all the way to the bridge. We're just taking a section that people were illegally parking on, and just, you know, making that so that whole area is clean, and that the amount of accidents would be reduced.
Yeah, so for simplicity, right, by parking illegally, we had people literally parking up on the curb.
Oh, I know, I've seen it.
Yeah, from Duncan, I believe, to the Thornburg Bridge. Now, there was a parking right north of Union, right, as you go up around to the city. But just for simplicity, we didn't have people parking there, we didn't have an issue there. But for simplicity, we're saying no parking anywhere on Steuben Street from our boundary line to our boundary line.
Okay.
Can I make a recommendation, because I happen to live up there, and I know cars park legally, as in not on the curb, and there's enough, the street actually widens up there. So I would like to make a recommendation that perhaps we do it to Noble.
How about Union? Union, from that one stretch between Noble and Union, and I have no heartburn with that. On the south side, up to, from the city line at the Thornburg Bridge to Union Avenue.
Well, I said we make it down to Lincoln, because you got the churches and stuff there, and they want to.
It's already,
That's already,
that's already, there's no parking there.
But they just park there during church time.
Well, there was always, for St. Matthew's, there was always a Sunday exemption sign posted there. And I don't even know if they're still there anymore, but there was no parking anytime except Sundays. And and I don't know if those signs even still exist anymore. And if the church has the population to do that, but there was on-street parking on Sundays in that area.
What I'm trying to say is if you do it for convenience for some people, you gotta do it for convenience for everybody.
I happen to agree with you because I know somebody who's handicapped and lives in one of those
Exactly.
buildings down between McCormick and Duncan, and in talking with them, they're parking down the street and they have to get to their house because they cannot access the parking that is supposedly supposed to be designated
What
behind.
building?
It's the orange one with the brown wood that goes up, and there's like a porch, like,
North side, south side.
oh, I don't know.
North side is Fort England.
When I pass
South side.
Walgreens, it's gonna be on my left.
Well,
North
they'll
side.
have off-street parking behind the buildings.
Okay, well, they were telling me that they could not access it because other people were parking there. so
wait a second,
I don't
my
know.
understanding, that's already illegal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, we're not changing that, right? We're only changing.
Right, but he's saying that there's exemptions. If there's exemptions, then, are we,
Yeah.
Well, you just.
Yeah, if, like I said, like Ms. Wetzel said, that she knows some people that park legally right here, let's change it from here to here.
No, the
And
road
then-
widens up there.
Right, the road widens, correct. But then you go from down to Union. If you're gonna go do that for those people up there, these people down here are gonna say, hey, what about us? We want the exception too.
Well,
That's why we
We
advertise.
do this, we park there sometimes.
it's not an exception.
No, I'm just saying, if you're gonna do it for one, you gotta do it for everybody.
And
This
and
is
actually,
advertised.
to be honest, when my initial thought was to Union Avenue, when I looked at this, because from that area, Steuben Street above Grace Street, that street's twice as wide as what it is, at times. So to modify that advertisement, I would have absolute heartburn with running that to Union Avenue on the south side.
Okay,
so this is the advertisement.
this is just advertised. So who
So
moved
can
it
we
second?
withdraw?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Who moved it second? Excuse me? Fred and David.
I'll withdraw my second.
Okay, I'll withdraw.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to advertise an ordinance amending the traffic and vehicle ordinance to prohibit parking on Subin Street on the northerly and southerly side from Thornburg Bridge to Union Avenue on the northerly side. Correct?
Southern.
Southern,
Oh, southerly side.
southern.
My mistake. Motion to advertise an ordinance amending the traffic and vehicle ordinance to prohibit parking on Steuben Street from the Thornburg Bridge to Union Avenue on the southerly side.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, last one. I'll entertain a motion to adopt ordinance number 1627, amending chapter 120 of the Borough of Crafton Codification of Ordinances, replacing Article 3 in its entirety.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Ask Manager Tran to just briefly tell us what this is we're approving.
So by September 26th, every municipality, including Crafton Borough, must have a new floodplain ordinance adopted because FEMA created new floodplain maps. You're just bringing your ordinance in line to be consistent. That's important because it affects the ability of residents to get insurance, flood insurance. So, not a moment to spare. No pressure, but 26th is the deadline. Tonight's the night.
So
Any
moved.
questions?
Oh. Vote, let's vote. It's getting late.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, There's nothing listed here for comprehensive planning, so I am gonna go, April, did you have anything?
Does the interim manager have anything to report?
Yeah, so we've reengaged Ingram in the process. We are awaiting local government academy grant application approval, hopefully. When we also are modifying the Allegheny County grant application since Thornburg pulled out, and Allegheny County never signed off on our scope of work. So we're in the process of drafting a new scope of work that will meet Allegheny County's requirements. Ingram's still a go in terms of partnering with the borough.
Okay. All right. Last, thank the citizens for coming. We have 3 people signed up for comments. Please step up to the microphone, state your name and address. And first up is John Lauritzen.
Very good.
Thank you.
John Lauritzen, 75 West Steuben, on the south side. On the south side. I came up to thank the council and anybody mostly responsible for fixing the manhole outside, 40, 50 feet outside our bedroom windows. It no longer goes clink clank, very good. We've been watching for about 3 weeks now. The only noise we hear is when a truck that has something in the bed hits the dip there. There's still quite a dip there, but then that's not the driver's responsibility. But anyhow, thanks everybody. And I'd like to have some feedback. Rob was telling me a little bit about how they fixed it. And I hope it works, because if that manhole does not rotate, then it won't get noisy. But anyhow, thanks everybody, and I appreciate watching how your government and business works. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad we could help. Next up is Andrea Marquis.
Andrea Markey, I live at 38 Marion Street, and I just want to take a minute and thanks everybody for helping me with the garden plan. I'll be volunteering at the food pantry tomorrow and doing an informal survey on what those clients would like to see us grow. And if anybody has any other ideas or groups that we can get involved with, let me know. And who should I tell the newspaper and TV people to talk to? The mayor, when we get all this good press for Crafton?
I think it's a shade tree commission.
Yeah, okay. Cool. All right, thanks.
Thank you, Andrea. Appreciate all your time.
Don't leave without your letter.
Oh, I won't.
All right, and last, Frank Rugoni.
Rugoni. Frank Rugoni, 18 Bell. Basically, I don't know what to do at this point. I've written letters for the last 4 years, begged to get our alley paved. We did some patchwork a couple weeks ago. It's gonna fall apart. We put some rocks on it, but the problem with that is that when the plows come through, Doug, who has that $10,000 landscape, you put a big pile of stones in his yard by the end of the winter. Let me explain how this works. Especially last winter, we thaw when we freeze. We thaw, it turns to mud. It freezes, the mud turns to frozen mud, which means I get 2 flat tires. If it's mud, I have to get a running start up to my driveway. This is parking for most of the people on 18 Bell. Most people don't park in the winter in the back anymore, which causes problems on the main 18 Bells because the plows can't get through because everybody's parked there. Since 2010, that road used to be really nice to get back in and out. My driveway is ruined because of all the mud and trying to spin tire to get into my driveway, into my garage. And I can't get it fixed until the road's fixed. So every year, I gotta go through this ever since the 2010 storm. And still, I could get nothing in the paper. The pavement project doesn't ever include us. The weeds have gone out of control in that section also. And the dead trees have fallen. So we had 4 foot, 6 foot dead trees laying in the gully, if you will, of the part of the road that has collapsed. And my neighbors have called, and borough secretary has gone out and looked, and still there's no feedback, and we just get nothing. So, I don't know what you're planning on doing, I just need some kind of answer sooner or later, because it's ruining my car, it's ruining my driveway, it's hurting these residents' homes, and we're spending money to try to keep our landscape beautiful, like, so we don't get fined from you guys, yet you won't fix our yard, or our alley. And this is fair in-use alley, because the kids go back past there to get to school, and they go down the other part of, this is all 18 Bell Alley, which is, that's a T. They go down to get to the church for daycare, or walk up to get to the elementary. And there's been twice I've almost hit kids because of the weeds that are overgrown that's on your property. And like I said, damage to the car, and I don't know what else to do. I've pleaded for 4 years, I've asked, I've written an environmental agency. That's all I have to say. I don't know what else you want me to do. Do I do a petition? Do I lay in the street and protest? I don't know.
No, we'll take a look, and we'll have the manager report back. We'll take a look at the section of roadway that you're talking about, the alley. We'll look at the weeds there, do an assessment, and the manager will get back to you.
Okay. Thank you, President.
Thank you. Doesn't seem we'll have any other citizen comments. Everyone else is gone. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?